I'm going to start with Cody and Brian. I mean, I keep mentioning them in the same breath, but they really are very, very similar, at least in their passion for this world. There is really no job they didn't do over the 3 years. They worked the cameras, they did sound, they ran the clacker, and they acted on top of all that. I mean, they really were jacks of all trades.
Spratty, as a director, was very hardcore, but he had this nature where, because of our friendship, where I really just wanted to do the best work I could do for him under those circumstances.
With Aaron Spratty, when he came in and really upped our game storytelling-wise.
The good thing about Spratty is that he had a very specific thing in mind, but he wasn't tied to it. He wasn't married to it. He allowed, because he knew when it came to Avistrum, it wasn't a screenwriter came up with the, well, in this case, that was Spratty too, but it wasn't that the screenwriter came up with the characters and then the actors have to translate those characters from the paper to the film. He was working the other way around, where all of us created our own characters, and we already had all these backstories, and it was our characters, and he was trying to figure out how to translate them to paper. And as a result, he let us have a lot of freedom with it. For a professional director, we're to come into what we're doing and see how we were operating. Spratty probably would have been chastised for his directorial skills. I think the exact opposite. I think because of what he was trying to work within, Spratty's directorial skills were great, allowing all of us to work with each other and make a better product rather than just on the vision of one person, because Avistrum wasn't one person's vision, it's multiple person's vision. All of us had ideas with it, and all of us wanted this thing to be great, and he knew it, and he worked with us to get it done. So, Spratty's skip, and then, there was times where you can go, look, you can do better than this, try this. No, that didn't work, try this. And then he was able to bring out better acting from us through that. So Spratty's directorial skills, in my opinion, are number one.
Same goes for Cody. Really near and dear to my heart. And so working with him was just a phenomenal experience. Lots of laughter. They're insane.
Cody, the assistant director who had to fill in from time to time when we couldn't get Spratty there to do the filming, did the same thing. He had the same sort of ideas that, we need, I'm going to let you roll with this. You do your thing. We're going to put it on film. We're going to see if it works or not. Both of their styles were very kind of, they're not in-your-face directors. They're laid-back directors, and they have the foresight to know that we as actors need some freedom to act, and they're actors themselves. So I think they have that knowledge of let's let this person do their job, and then if it doesn't work out, we'll redo it, and I'll tell them my thoughts on it, sort of stuff.
We had Mikey when he came in, and he lent his creative ear and his mind.
Appreciate Mikey and all the work he did in post-production. I know it drove him crazier than he already was, and it really needs to be said again, it was worth it, at least from your audience's perspective and the perspective of the other people you're working with. Everything came out great.
He's done sound, and he's done effects and that kind of thing. I've taken on film editing, some film editing. Are you going to let me get through this? Are you going to let me get through this?
But it helps bring in that magic. There's only so much you can do with physical props and the really real world, right? So it's nice that you can have some spells with the explosions of Michael Bay and all of that stuff. Well, not as good as Michael Bay, but I'm trying.
Mike's done amazing work with the effects and everything. Hold on.
It's become a running joke when we go to see a movie and we get to the credits part where they start showing all those special effects and CGI and whatnot, where they have teams of people performing on different aspects of the film, the sectioned out where this guy only had to work on this section of a character's body, and a team was supporting him. Well, that's Mikey. So that's his contributions have, again, to keep raising the bar.
It was great to work with him because he and I have this symbiotic working relationship where we communicate very well and very easily. And he also had a calming influence over, for me anyway, over nerves or anything that was a little spastic. His presence would always really kind of chill me out. So,
To be honest with you, if we didn't have Mikey, the films probably wouldn't have happened. Period. It really was Mikey's vision that drew it forward, and then we had all the talent. We had Phil as the cameraman, we had Spratty as the screenwriter and director, and I pulled sound from time to time. We had all these people that had technical knowledge on the backside of it to make the film happen.
Phil's got a great eye. He understands light and the way the camera should be set up.
He has a very specific point of view himself, coming from a strong photography background. He knows what he's talking about. He's not afraid to tell you that you're wrong or challenge you. And even on the days when it felt like we were being challenged enough, it was still good to know that there's somebody there who was going to really be the one guy to call me on decisions that he felt were wrong.
Phil's gas is probably the hardest thing to choke. It will kill small plants and children.
Has big ass feet and kept tripping over stuff and breaking things and farting on camera while we're in the middle of a really good take. And yeah, God bless him.
Avistrum is such a great collection of artists. Everybody's got their own medium that they work with, the things that they're comfortable with, and they're able to hone those tools within the Avistrum environment. Take Jessica Casper. You can see what she's contributed over the years with all the different posters that show up. The dragon skull that greets you as soon as you walk in the doors, as well as other various props. At Mile High, we have the big Colubre windows. Those were all done by Jessica. Susan Thomas. She's helped me throughout all the films. Various things. We had to write even the Morning Oracle article talking about Scorpio Douglas's parents. We needed that for a prop for the film. She did that. She did the hallway for Alcatraz. Helped me with that. Jonathan Sims. He helped us throughout the different political posters. In fact, all three of these artists did a political poster throughout the run of the Kensington versus Aberfoyle election for the Secretary of Magic. Everybody that's involved with props. Platt did the archway. The archway has actually got a fog machine in it and LED lights that he tuned up in it. So when Johnny and Elaine came out of the void, we had the smoke and they came through and it was all twinkling and magical and the kids ate it up. Platt does the magical table for Kobayashi's Charms class.
Cynthia. Nice job! Protector! Oh yeah!
I just can't express enough how critical it is to have people like this.
Definitely Jessica Casper. Her art is all over the place and pretty much the lifeblood of the school. It's all over the place, and then the portraits and the Colubre Common Room and the Dragon Skull and the DOS, the other skull. It's so countless things that she has made. Things online. Her artwork is very much Avistrum. It's our lifeblood. And without her artwork, we would not be anywhere we are right now. the founders, the people who were there in the beginning. There was Chad and Sashko and Tyler, Josh, Jackie, and Katie. They were the ones that were there when everything first started. And a little Avistrum bit of trivia: the stars that arch over the eagle and the Avistrum crest, those stars represent all of the original founders.
There's not one solid I only do crew person in Avistrum. There's not.
We had to use what we had, so the crew and the cast were essentially one and the same. So everybody played a part. Everybody kind of jumped in where they could and did whatever they could to act as crew because we had to get stuff done.
The cameraman, you can see him at as Drake's crony at several of the Mile High Cons live. Michelle, not only did she do our audio, but she was also a new ghost character that she's brought in, who's a banshee. This is a great concept that I can't wait to explore more.
Millie, for sure. She was my goddess of Cheez-Its. Just seemed like, I was never going to starve on set with her. And there was this sisterhood there of being exhausted and being sweaty and being miserable and simultaneously being creeped out by the boogeyman because we were the guinea pigs for the boogeyman's voice. That sort of thing. There's a great thing there.
Amelia, not only was she the head girl, but she was running our notes. So we had to have the notes. We tried doing filming without notes, and that ended poorly, very poorly. There's nothing quite like reliving an entire day of filming because nobody took notes. So I'm sitting there watching every. Well, oh, that's a good one. So.
I just hope that I hope that they know that their contributions are not overlooked and their presence makes sure that Avistrum endures. It wouldn't be as special a place without any one of them.
Brian and his clack-a-lackin' duties.
Angle tracing the A, part one, or take one. Do what, it's just thing.
Working. It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
Nobody can run a clackboard like Brian. He took it very, very seriously, I think. Got really upset when other people were doing the clapboard because it was his clapboard and he will clack-a-lack that clapboard and nobody else is going to clack-a-lack it. Shaka-doom.